Hello there, I'm Ramsey Fitzsimmons, physical educator for South Sioux City High School in South Sioux City, Nebraska, and I am going to talk to you about National Board of Education Physical Education Standard number 8, assessment. Assessment in physical education is just as important as it is in other academic classes. And physical educators have to consider how they are carefully assessing their students. I think of assessment in my classroom as really focusing on 3 main areas. We are focusing on skill development of the student. And that is concerned with motor skill development and just overall just ability to move their body. We are also, the second thing we're assessing is their fitness level. And of course, as physical educators, we're always trying to increase our students' cardiovascular fitness and make them a healthier individual and teach them how to be healthy in a lifelong way. And then the third thing that I want to discuss with my assessments, or that I'm considering with my assessments, is the understanding of the concepts that I am trying to teach my students. And so those 3 components together, skill development, fitness, and understanding concepts, come together to help formulate each assessment that I have in my classroom. And one of the ways that I like to do this is really by utilizing a rubric. And I have chosen to attach a rubric that I created for one of my classes at UNK to represent what that looks like in one of my units at the secondary level. And the reason why I like a rubric so much is because it focuses on that skill development, like I was just discussing, is students know where they're sitting and they know where they're trying to go because there are levels and they know which level they're at as they progress through the movement or through the activity that we're doing. I also use assessment in my classroom to adjust my instruction because just like every other classroom teacher, if I am assessing my students and I see that there's a shortcoming and that's a consistency across many students, then at the end of the day, I have to reflect and ask myself, maybe there's something that was not taught, or maybe I could do this aspect better. And it's not necessarily a reflection on the student, but more a reflection on me in my classroom. I also use assessment in my classroom to help students set goals. And one of the most important things in physical education is you have to allow students to formulate their own idea of what mastery is and to have a goal in that class, because if they have been able to set their own goal, they are much more passionate about it. They want to reach those goals, and you are asking them to formulate a skill that will carry them beyond your classroom into life, because when they leave your classroom, they will also want to set their individual goals from a physical fitness perspective or a participation in activities perspective. So I use assessments to help my students set goals and also track those goals to see how far we've come and where we need to go. And that helps me track their growth over time, and it helps them also track their own growth over time. And physical education is one of the only classes in a school where motor development and movement is assessed. And that makes physical education so extremely important. And it can be used in things like IEPs, and it can be used in things like evaluation. And so I really want to utilize my assessments to keep a specific track of my students' growth over time. And then lastly, I wanted to discuss how I feel that personal progress and effort should be in consideration in a physical education grade. You should never grade a student based on wins and losses of a game. And just because a student starts out at a certain level doesn't mean they have to get to the same level as your other students. And if they are growing over time in that skill development and towards the content, then you need to recognize that as a physical educator and take that into consideration when you're grading them. And of course, effort is always needed and it's always appreciated. And you can tell when a student in your classroom is giving that effort. And even if those skills have not developed to the level of others, that effort takes that student a very long way. And when students give effort and participate in class, it just makes the class go so much better. And it's a whole lot of fun for everyone involved. So I do consider that for assessment as well. Thank you.